Host or guests do not state or reflect those of the company, its management, sponsors, or any entities they represent.
Oh, it's lit. We prime time. Subscribe, like, and share. Give us your feedback. Yo, I'm Manny at the plate and Kobe off a steal. Gretzky for the goal and Brady at the wheel. I'm a game changer, the Osaka of the tennis, and breaking scoreboard. Simone of the Olympics, defense and big business. The Mayweather who way better. From the greatness of Jim Brown, I've been down. Talking sports before I was off the porch. Screaming Bo knows while Jordan was playing horse. Late 80s getting torched by the drive and the shot. 2016 got a ring off the three in the block. They eased to forgot the cardiac kids. Price and Doherty, Bell in the Indian years. This who it is. Your host DeeTrynt, yo, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. Yo, your host DeeTrynt, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer.
Welcome, DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports, streaming on multiple media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Follow us on IG at Industry Sports or at DeeTrynt. If you missed the live streams, you can catch the replays on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and various other streaming platforms. If it seemed like I'm a little delayed, that's my fault. Technology act weird in the precipitation. So, you know what I'm saying? Bear with me. But I am extra repping today, though, dog. You feel me? Where am I banging now? My guys got on the board this week. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They came through. And it was a well fought game. You know, they did everything we wanted them to do. You know, they showed tenacity, they showed fight, they showed some little bit of complimentary football. People were put in positions to make plays, and they made plays. But before we get into all that, all right, welcome. Hope everybody's hump day is going well. Wing Wednesday. You know, feel free to go get your wings. Don't know a spot to go get wings, you should go to Lulu's restaurant down on 104th.
Well, it looked like DeeTrynt just lagged out.
Hear me, right?
Oh, now you lagged out.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, looking like it's lagging.
No, I'm talking about you was completely gone.
Okay, that makes sense because it's acting weird. It's acting really weird. I don't know why it's acting weird, y'all. You know, I thought it loved me. You know, I assume that after 100-something episodes that that we was on the same page. You know, I thought we all lived in harmony. Clearly, me and my devices don't get along. You ever had to have a talk with your device? Like, listen, you know what I'm saying? I know that you feel like you the prized possession here, but you know you only really function with me. You know what I'm saying? Only I make you do what you do. You gotta have these talk with your devices sometimes. Just like some of these coaches be having to have a talk with their players. Okay? Because it's a lot of winless teams going on in the NFL right now. OMG, it is crazy work around the NFL. What I do like, though, is the fact that some people who weren't projected to be balling is balling. Okay? I'm talking about balling. All right? And, you know, some teams are doing better than anticipated. All right? And some people are right what we thought they were when other people thought they were something else. All right. So let's start with the teams that haven't lost anything yet. In the AFC East, you got the Buffalo Bills with a 3-0 record. In the AFC South, you have the Indianapolis Colts with the 3-0 record. And in the AFC West, you have the Los Angeles Chargers with a 3-0 record. In the NFC East, the Philadelphia Eagles are 3-0. In the NFC South, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 3-0. And in the NFC West, the San Francisco 49ers are 3-0. Okay? Now, what's amazing, right? Buffalo is who we thought Buffalo is, right? Josh Allen is just doing Josh Allen things, right? The game, I watched the game that they played against Miami, and I ain't gonna lie, when I was at work, a homie was saying, man, I think Miami might get him. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them games for two of them to pop out. And I'm like, I mean, they might pop out, but I don't know if they gonna necessarily, do what needs to be done. But listen, they were in a great position to bring Buffalo down a notch. It's just Buffalo came through when they needed to. You feel me? And there ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with showing up when you're supposed to. Excuse me, because I had made some Mexican cornbread. Shit was delicious. So Josh Allen, right? 3 games played, 69 completions of 99 attempts. He is completing 69.7% of his passes. He has thrown for a total of 755 yards and 7.6 yards an average reception, averaging 251.7 yards a game. His longest passes was 51 yards. He has thrown 5 touchdowns, no interception. He's been sacked 4 times for a loss of about 16 yards. His passer rating is 108.8. Something that Buffalo didn't do a lot of, they're doing now, is running the ball. And little brother Cook is doing his thing. Shout out to James Cook. In 3 games, 53 carries, 284 yards, averaging 5.4 yards a carry. His longest carry was for 44 yards. Okay. He has 4 rushing TDs. He is averaging 94.7 yards a game. And he has at least 1 fumble. I don't know what this big means, but I'm going to assume that big stands for yards over 20 plus. And he has 2 of those. As far as the receivers that Josh Allen is utilizing, he is using a multitude of receivers. Everybody eats is what they expressed during the broadcast. A shout out to the Amazon Prime Thursday night crew. Everybody eats. Keon Coleman, 3 games, 14 receptions, 18 targets, 158 yards receiving, averaging 11.3 yards a catch, has 1 receiving touchdown. Dalton Kincaid, the tight end, 3 games, 13 receptions off 16 targets, 151 yards, averaging 11.6 yards of reception. He has 2 receiving touchdowns. Khalil Shakur, 3 games, 11 receptions, 15 targets, 121 yards, averaging 11 yards of reception, and a passing touchdown. A receiving touchdown, excuse me. Palmer, 3 games, 8 receptions out of 13 targets, 113 yards, 14 yards of reception. All right. Even the running back James Cook has 9 receptions off 9 targets for 71 yards, and he's averaging 7.9 yards a carry, reception. Elijah Moore, remember him, Browns fans? Remember the guy who was with us last year? He is now in Buffalo. He has 4 targets. He has 4 receptions on 5 targets for 64 yards. He is averaging 16 yards, a reception. And another one of the tight ends, Hall's rookie, 3 receptions off 3 targets, 39 yards, and he has a touchdown. So when they say everybody eats, my man was not. He was not jiving. Okay, clearly everyone on the team matters to him. All right, let's go to the next 3-0 team and let's see how their standings. And I mean, listen, shout out to the coaches. You know what I mean? They doing their thing. Indianapolis is such a surprise because they have Anthony Richardson and they brought in Daniel Jones, who was considered a bust from the New York Giants, and he's balling out of control. Okay, Danny Dimes in 3 games has 63 completions off 88 attempts for 71.6 percentage. He has 816 yards, averaging 9.3 yards a completion, averaging 272 yards a game. His longest throw was reception was for 44 yards. He has 3 passing touchdowns, no interceptions, 2 sacks. He has a passer rating of 111.7. Remember Jonathan Taylor? Y'all remember him. Running back from Wisconsin that's been in Indianapolis for several years now. In 3 games, he has 60 carries for 333 yards, averaging 5.6 yards a carry. His longest run was for 68 yards. He has 3 rushing touchdowns. He is averaging 112.7 yards a game. No fumbles. Okay? Let's talk about Danny Dimes, though, who has 17 carries for 50 yards, 5 yards, averaging 3.2 yards a carry. His longest run was for 17 yards. But he also has 3 rushing touchdowns. Let's talk about the receiving weapons. Ty Warren, rookie from Penn State. 3 games, he is tied. Okay. He has 14 receptions off 21 targets for 193 yards, averaging 13.8 yards of reception. He has no receiving touchdown, but his longest reception was for 41 yards. He is averaging 64.3 yards a game. Michael Pittman has 16 receptions off 19 targets for the same 193 yards. He's averaging 12.1 yards of reception, but he has 2 receiving touchdowns, and his longest reception was for 27 yards. He is also averaging 64.3 yards a game. Pierce, remember that receiver from Cincinnati a few years ago? The one I was teammates with Jerome Ford. We'll get there. All right. He has 9 receptions off 13 targets, 471 yards. He's averaging 19 yards a reception. His longest was for 44. And he is averaging 57 yards a game. Even Jonathan Taylor got 8 receptions off 9 targets, 93 yards. A receiving touchdown while averaging 11.6 yards of reception. All right. And then you got Josh Downs. All right. 10 receptions off 14 targets, 97 yards, with 9.7 yards of reception. His longest was for 29. All right. They are balling in Indy. Shout out to Indy, man. You know what I'm saying? Finding a diamond in the rough and turning him into something. It's crazy because the Browns was talking about getting him. And I think majority of the fan base was like, no, not Danny Dimes, no. I mean, I was part of that. I ain't gonna just put it off on them. Danny Dimes, no. But he has proven us wrong. Danny Dimes can ball. Okay, y'all? He can ball. All right? Let's go to who I think has been the most impressive team in the AFC of the season so far in 3 games. Okay? They have completely beat the brakes off everybody they played. From the way I see it. All right? I mean, the scores don't always reflect the dominance. I don't know, man. These Los Angeles Charger dudes, these Chargers ain't no joke. And I ain't gonna lie, right now, just off the eye test, they got my pick to go to the Super Bowl, bruh. They is firing on every cylinder possible. Okay, they are balling. So it's safe to say that Staley, and what that was their last coach, Staley. He was underutilizing these guys, or maybe Justin Herbert just blossomed at the right time. I mean, they did have a lot of injuries last year, a lot of shuffling. Keenan Allen was not part of the team last year. He is back. They drafted a running back. Lad McConkey has stepped up. Quinton Johnson. He stepped up. Hey, man, listen. I ain't gonna lie, bro. These Charger cats, they not playing. They ain't playing. Let's talk about Justin Herbert. In 3 games, he has 72 completions for 108 yards. 72 completions off 108 attempts. 66.7 completion percentage. 860 total yards. He is averaging 8 yards of completion. He's averaging 286.7 yards a game. He has 6 passing touchdowns, 1 interception. He's been sacked 10 times. Omarion Hampton, the running back, has over 3 games, has 42 carries for 142 yards. He is averaging 3.4 yards a carry. He has 1 rushing touchdown. He is averaging 47.3 yards a game. No fumbles. He has the only rushing touchdown in a squad. Okay. Q Johnston, receiver, 14 receptions off 24 targets, 239 receiving yards. He is averaging 17.1 yards a reception. He has 3 receiving touchdowns, and his longest reception was for 60 yards. He is also averaging 79.7 yards a carry. A game receiving. And might I add, he has 5 receptions over 20 yards. Okay. Keenan Allen, who has returned home, 19 receptions of 28 targets, 194 receiving yards on the season, 10.2 yards average a reception. He has 3 receiving touchdowns as well. Lad McConkey, 15 receptions off 21 targets, 163 total yards, 10.9 yards of reception. His longest reception was for 23 yards. Omarion Hampton has 9 receptions off 11 targets for 73 yards. Conklin, tight end Conklin, has 2 receptions off 4 targets and 50 yards. So he's averaging 25 yards of reception. This team is going bananas. I don't know, man. If you haven't seen the Chargers game, I will highly recommend that you take the chance to see a Chargers game. Because these boys is playing out of this world right now, man. I'm not going to hold you. They playing out of this world. And from the eye test again, man, I feel like they the team to beat, bro. I ain't going to hold you. In the AFC. Now, in the NFC, I guess it's not surprising that these are the teams that are undefeated. It's just the way they've gotten to be undefeated. I will say, I had to take a drink. There have been very few cakewalks in the NFL this year. And even the cakewalks that did happen, it took a little time to develop. I haven't recalled anybody just getting wait. My bad. I spoke too fast. Because when I give you all these past scores from the past week 3, Oh, a couple teams got their ass whooped. Oh, they got foot to butt. Oh, it was bad. Oh, they got it. Okay. But let's go ahead and get over here to these Philly guys in the NFC North. Or is that the NFC South? What division is this? NFC? No, I think it's NFC. Okay. Remember all the talk about Jalen Hurts and his inability to get people started and going? Well, in this past game, he went bonkers. But regardless of what Philly is doing, Philly is still winning, and they are the reigning Super Bowl champions. All right. Jalen Hurts on the year, 3 games, 55 completions on 77 attempts, 71.4 yards of completion percentage, 479 total passing yards, averaging 6.2 yards of completion. He is throwing for 159.7 yards a game. He has 3 passing touchdowns, no interceptions. He's been sacked 107 times. He has a passer rating of 100.5. Saquon Barkley. Y'all know Saquon. Y'all remember Saquon? Y'all remember that guy? He's still in Philly. I think they paid him too. They paid him a lot. And Saquon in 3 games has 58 carries for 194 yards. He is only averaging 3.3 yards a carry. He has 2 rushing touchdowns. He's averaging 64.7 yards a game. I think the big tell is this: is he has no running plays over 20 yards. Jalen Hurts has the little runner too. 32 carries of 117 yards, 3.7 yards a carry. His longest was 18. He has 4 rushing touchdowns. I mean, well, I guess he got tush push touch. Do we separate the rushing touchdowns from the tush push touchdowns? Is the tush push touchdown like its own thing? Is that like a team touchdown? Do everybody get a percentage for that one? I don't know. I think it's something we should definitely look into. But I feel like the tush push should be a group reward, right? But I digress. I don't nothing wrong with the tush push. I'm just saying everybody should get equal credit for the touchdown. Is all I'm saying, right? Um, Receiving. I mean, he got AJ Brown, 12 receptions off 19 targets, 144 receiving yards, 12 yards of reception. He is averaging. He's caught 1 TD. His longest reception was for 38 yards, but he does have 3 catches over 20 yards. He is only averaging 48 yards a game receiving. Devonta Smith has 15 receptions off 18 targets, 129 total receiving yards, 8.6 yards of reception. He is averaging 1 receiving touchdown. His longest reception was for 28 yards. He has 1 play over 20 yards. He is only averaging 43 yards receiving a game. Dallas Goedert has 8 receptions off 9 targets, 77 yards. He's averaging 9.6 yards, 8 reception, 1 touchdown. His longest reception was for 33. And he has, I guess that was his only play. Right? And Jahan Dotson. Remember the guy they got from the Commanders? That was the speedster. 5 receptions off 7 targets, 70 yards receiving, averaging 14 yards of reception. He has no receiving touchdown, but his longest reception was for 51 yards. And Mr. Saquon Barkley has 10 receptions off 12 targets. He's only got 39 yards, though, 3.9 yards of reception. He's averaging. His longest reception was for 8 yards. All right? He's only averaging 13 receiving yards a game. But they are undefeated. Yes, they are definitely undefeated. No one has beaten them. I don't know if I should talk about this team next because, you know, there's a lot of people in my city that root for my team that has not gotten over the fact that this gentleman does not play for us anymore. And they seem to always find a way to make a way to have a way to bring this up in conversation. Now, I have no personal beef with this individual. I think he is balling out of his mind right now. And I'm not surprised that he's balling like that because I've seen him ball like this before. My only knock ever on this guy was for where he was taken at in the draft. He should be able to read defenses because you're a quarterback. And reading defenses is part of the job requirement. Okay? With that being said, let's get a man his flowers. All right? Let's genuinely get this man his flowers because he is balling out of his mind right now. Baker Mayfield for the undefeated Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right? In 3 games, he has completed 61 passes of 99 attempts. He has averaged 61.6 yards a completion percentage, 615 total yards, averaging 6.2 yards in completion. He is averaging 205 passing yards a game, but he does have 6 passing touchdowns with no interceptions and 6 sacks. He has a passer rating of 99.5. He is running a dual back system, and I like 2-back systems. You got to give a little something to take the edge off, right? Bruce Irvin in 3 games has 56 carries. He has 174 total rushing yards. He's averaging 3.1 yards per carry. His longest carry was for 16 yards. He's averaging 58 rushing yards a game. Baker Mayfield has 12 carries for 116 yards. He is averaging 9.7 yards a carry. His longest was for 33. He has 2 runs over 20. And then you got Rachaad White. 17 carries for 91 yards, 5.4 yards. He's averaging a carry. His longest was for 16. He has 1 rushing touchdown. And then, I don't know, right? It seems like when you pair a quarterback with a receiver he is familiar with in college, I don't know, man. If it elevates his game, if it, encourages them to play at a level that they've never played at before. I don't know. I don't know if it's just inspiring or I don't know. What I do know though, that they're performing, right? And when it comes to this Tampa Bay Buccaneers receiving core, they got some weapons, bro. I don't know. Emeka Ibuka from the Ohio State Buckeyes. He has 14 receptions on 21 targets for 181 receiving yards. He is averaging 12.9 yards a reception. He has 3 receiving touchdowns. His longest reception was for 30 yards. He has 4 receptions over 20 yards, and he is averaging 60.3 yards a game receiving. Sterling Shepard, the receiver that Baker had, has 11 receptions on 15 targets for 153 yards and averaging 13.9 yards a reception. He has no receiving touchdowns, but he has longest pass reception catch, was for 24 yards. He has 3 catches over 20 yards. Michael Evans. You got to say his name with a little pizzazz. You know what I'm saying? He be out there putting hurting on these DBs in the secondary. I ain't gonna lie. They kind of been holding him in check this year, but I don't know how legit that is. I think I gotta look this up, but I'm almost positive. Okay, with Texas A&M. Didn't Baker go to Texas A&M too? Or was that Patrick Mahomes? I remember him, Mike Evans, being a receiver for somebody in college, but it wasn't Spencer Rattler. I know that. Whatever the case, Mike Evans, of 27 targets, has 14 receptions. He has 140 receiving yards, averaging 10 yards of reception. He has one receiving touchdown and one flat reception over 20 yards. Irving has 14 receptions on 14 targets, 91 yards, averaging 6.5 yards of reception, has a receiving touchdown. That's probably best to talk about. But Tampa Bay is balling, nonetheless. I know I ain't did none of the defenses yet because I don't really want to sit here and talk about all these teams, but I do want to give you an update to see where things are around the league because I ain't chopped it up with y'all in a minute. I just want to make sure we all on the same page when I get into my little soliloquies about what I think about my team. Okay, San Francisco, the last undefeated team to mention. They just balling, bro. They got studs everywhere. However, they did just lose Nick Bosa for the season. Oh, that has to hurt. He is out. I just got that news yesterday, day before yesterday, something. He's definitely out for the season. And Brock Purdy is injured, and Matt Jones is not a quarterback. Remember Matt Jones? He is supposed to be the QB to take over for Brady after he left. And now they're over with Drake May, and Natty is a 49. In his 2 games, he has 53 completions off 80 attempts for 66.3 completion percentage. He has thrown for 563 yards. He has averaged 70 yards of completion. He's averaged 281.5 yards passing a game. His longest completion was for 42 yards. He has thrown 4 touchdowns. He has 1 interception. He's been sacked 4 times. 4 times. Just 4. Christian McCaffrey. 52 carries, 176 yards, or 3.4 yards a carry. His numbers are for 15. He has no rushing touchdown. Matter of fact, I don't think San Francisco as a team has a rushing touchdown. And they're undefeated. Let's check this receiving core. Pearsall, 16 receptions, 24 targets, 281 yards, 17.6 yards of completion. Christian McCaffrey has 25 receptions on 32 targets, 213 yards, 8.5 yards average a reception, has 1 receiving TD. Jennings, I think it's Josh. He has 7 receptions on 15 targets, 405 receiving yards, averaging 15 yards complete reception. It's 1 receiving touchdown. You got Tones, the tight end, with a touchdown reception. Jasiznik, the fullback, with a touchdown reception. George Kittle and Luke Farrell, tight ends, all have receiving touchdowns. What's interesting about this stuff so far is it's not a shocker or a complete mind boggler that these particular teams are doing well right now early in the season. A lot of these teams were predicted to do really good to begin with, so it kind of is what it is. Now you have your middle of your pack teams, right? You got all your 2-1 teams, which is Cincinnati and Pittsburgh in the AFC North, Jacksonville in the AFC South. Then you have Washington Commanders 2-1 in the NFC East. That's what it is, NFC East. I can't probably the North. It's NFC East. And the NFC North, though. Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit are all tied 2-1. Chicago is not part of that branch. And Arizona's 2-1, Seattle's 2-1, and the Los Angeles Rams are 2-1. These teams They got some firepower. They got a chance. We just gotta see how it plays out. You got your. You kind of just got the rest, right? We ain't gonna get into those teams since they just the rest. But if I didn't mention your team is either 1-2 or hasn't won a game yet. That's what I can tell you. DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports, streaming on multiple media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Follow us on IG at Industry Sports or at DeeTrynt. If you missed the live streamings, you can catch the replays on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and various other streaming platforms. Look for the Industry Sports channel. Like, subscribe, share, follow. From there, you can see Game Changer Sports Talk, which yours truly. Make sure y'all do the same. Make sure y'all go to the industrysports.com website. Check out the new articles, the latest updates on the little leagues, the college, the side college, the minor college, the major college, the pro leagues, the semi-pro league, the backyard and the wood league. We got it all for you. Come on down. Make sure y'all put that in your browser, industrysportswithseas.com. Come kick it with us. Read some interesting novelties. All right? I don't want to be all day. So now that I got the nice seeds out the way and actually highlighted the league, I just want to talk about my Browns. You know, these guys. Yeah, Cleveland. Cleveland's definitely in the house. The dope out on the phone. Let's get the dope out on the phone. Hey, listen. I don't know about the rest of y'all fans. I don't know about the rest of y'all people who watch football. But I don't feel a need to feel negative about my team right now. Hold on. I don't have one reason to be upset about my team. And you know why I don't have a reason to be upset about my team? Because there is nothing that my Cleveland Browns are doing right now that I am shocked about. Nothing. Nothing. First off, I've been a Cleveland fan way too long. Way too long. To be upset, bothered, or have my fandom wavered by something the Browns are doing. Okay? I want to take my earpiece off for this because it's about to get real in here. All right? Let's start with the coach and GM. Shout out, Mr. Andrew Berry. Keep on doing what you're doing. The haters gon' hate, right? Let me tell you, for me, I have no, how would I write this? I have no ill will. I have no unreasonable expectation for how the season goes. I just believe that the Browns, with this current team, has the talent, even with this schedule, to win 8 to 11 games. Now, how they win those games, when or if they win those amount of games, it's not up to my dictation. All I'm saying is, I genuinely believe that they can do it. Okay? And with that being said, let's talk about some positives on my team. Let's start with the quarterback situation. I was in the stadium this Sunday when the whole upper deck broke out with Joe gotta go. Joe gotta go. Joe gotta go. For me, this is highly, highly hilarious. Hold on. I need to get some of my stuff together. So I'm still talking. I'm just going to highly hilarious, okay? And why is it highly hilarious? Because how many people, Deshaun is this. He ain't do what he do. He was a bust. He didn't know that. And you know, they don't like Deshaun. They complain and they complain and they complain and they complain about Deshaun. And what did you hear a lot of them say? At least bring Flacco back. Flacco at least threw the ball. Flacco at least had them together. That's what they were saying. That's what a lot of them was saying. And I just thought it was extremely funny, right? That after 3 games, after y'all begged the Browns last season to bring Joe back, and your fans highly demanded for Joe Flacco to come back in the offseason. I only gave you what you wanted. Now you're upset because he is doing what Joe Flacco has been doing his whole career. He's just Ryan Fitzpatrick. Now, if you don't know football, you would take that as a shot. But if you know football, you know that Ryan Fitzpatrick or Fitzsimmons, is it right, Fitzsimmons? I think it's Fitzpatrick. Whatever the case. He Jekyll and Hyde. He come on a game, throw 300 yards, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. And then the next week, he goes 9 for 47 with 5 interceptions. And you're like, who is this guy? Where the guy that you brought me last week? Okay? I never understood that either. I don't know how to explain to y'all why he does that. But Joe Flacco is very much a lot like that. And the first game against the Bengals in the home opener, I didn't necessarily fault him for the interceptions. I definitely thought they were unfortunate situations, but Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman, you have to catch that pass. You have to absolutely catch that pass. Okay? But in week 2, them picks he threw to the Raiders? No. Well, the one was a legitimate pick. I want to argue that on the fumble for a touchdown, that Joe Flacco was down. His knee was down when the ball came out. I ain't going to stand on that. But nonetheless, we lose the home opener. Why do we lose the home opener? Because our field goal kicker couldn't hit a field goal or extra point. And I come to find out, me and him share something that I experienced a little while ago, but he just experienced right before his first NFL game. And my empathy and heart goes out to you, Andrew Smith, because that is a tough pill to swallow, my guy. But we love a good redemption story, don't we? We absolutely love a redemption story. Okay. With that being said, let's get back to Wacko Flacco. All right. So the problem with Flacco this season isn't what he is doing, it's what he's not doing. Okay. You're not throwing the ball to wide open receivers where they're wide open in the middle of the field, side of the field. You're just not reading the field well at all. So to be 40 and a former Super Bowl champion and a guy who's played at the highest level in this field, the mistakes you're making are unacceptable. But you get what your hand called for, fans. You get what your hand called for. All right. What is Flacco's stats this year? Can we take a look and see what Joe Flacco has done for us lately? All right. In this 3-week season, Joe Flacco has 77 completions from 126 attempts. He has completed 61.1 of his passes, and he's thrown for 631 yards. He is averaging 5 yards a completion, and he is averaging 210.3 passing yards a game. His longest pass was for 26 yards. He's thrown 2 TDs and 4 interceptions and sacked 6 times. He has a passer rating of 65.9. This the month y'all signed this stuff for. This the person y'all begged to come back. This him? Wacko Flacco? Mind you, I've been calling him Wacko Flacco since he came in the NFL. That boy is Jacko and Hyde. Wacko Flacco. Shout out to Cyclone, man. Wacko Flacco. We get it. Anyway, I mean, don't get me wrong, Flacco. I think you possibly could be great for the locker room overall as the elder statesman who's won at the highest level. You can teach things. You've been a journeyman. You've been through almost anything you can go through as an NFL quarterback. And your presence on the team, I would consider it invaluable. But not your starting presence. You don't have to start for that. All right? Let's run back a little history. This is me still defending Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry. Deshaun Watson is still on his roster. He will not play this season, but he will very much be ready to play next season. The Browns have 2 number 1 picks. What I don't like about the national media is they say anything that makes the Browns look stupid. And I'm trying to figure out how could you associate incompetence or inability to comprehend with 2 Ivy League graduates running the show. I don't even compute how that is supposed to work. Nonetheless, though, I think Mr. Stefanski has learned from his lessons. I think Andrew Berry has done the same. And I can appreciate that because they're both still in their 40s. They have a long time to go before they get some of the status of these other coaches. Now, you can learn from them. You can take what you've learned and remix it in your own way so it benefits you. But I just want people to give my guy his credit. Deshaun Watson's contract is still going to affect the books. They needed to get younger quarterbacks. They got 2 of the better quarterbacks in the draft. All right? They have no need to rush the young man to play. Why? Because I believe Kevin Stefanski believed, and I think he said this before, he could still be competitive until another solution is figured out. And to be honest, he's not lying because the Browns could have won all 3 games they were in. The Ravens game got out of hand after a certain point. Now where he went to like the 4th quarter. But up until then, it was a game. It was a game. It's just in this quarterback situation, man. It's so many different arguments and so many different debates. But the one thing I love about what Kevin is doing is he is allowing his young quarterbacks to learn the game without being pressured to start right now. I have no issue with Joe Flacco playing in Detroit. I personally feel like the only way any one of these young dudes gonna play over him is when he gets injured, and the Browns could legitimately scoot him to the side without some unnecessary backlash. We know how Browns fans love to complain, right? But I believe Shador is the answer, and he'll get a chance to show that at some point. Um, I I like I like what Stefanski doing with the quarterbacks. A lot of people don't, but I do. Um, there's a lot of things about the offensive line that is not answered. We cannot find out who is the tackle. It's crazy how you got Batonio on the left, you got Pochich in the middle, Wyatt Teller on the right. And that part of blocking and protection is always something. But when you get on these offensive ends, offensive tackles in Cleveland, it becomes a shit. Oh, and because of that, is another reason I respect why Kevin Stefanski don't just throw his young rookies out there. Dylan Gabriel did get to play in the Ravens game though, and he did come in doing his thing. He had 3 completions of 3 targets for 19 yards, 6.3 yards a carry, average of 19 yards a game. Longest completion was for 8 after throwing a touchdown. Shador Sanders is still in the works. Next year, I'll say this again. It'll be Dylan, it'll be Sean, and it'll be Shador fighting for the starting spot. All right. We finally got Quinshon Judkins back. Isaiah Bond is here. David Njoku and Jerry Jeudy have almost been non-existent. Cedric Tillman wants to emerge. I think he hasn't, but I guess. I think the Browns are very well rounded. I think that defense is Super Bowl caliber. I think the Browns are one competent quarterback play away from being a real force in this league, not only now but for years to come. My apologies. My apologies for the scatterbrain right now, y'all. I get a little emotional talk about these Browns because I'm in a good place with them, but I just feel like a lot of people complaining for no reason. Bro, you gotta wait for the process. It's not gonna all come together yet. But these Browns have a defense that allows them to stay in games. They're not even at full strength. Quinshon is emerging. He's going to be the bell cow. I don't know why everybody is so down on Jerome Ford like he did something wrong. Jerome Ford is a 2,000-yard guy, not 2,000-yard rusher, not 2,000-yard receiver. But if you put him and let him play running back, play a little, third down back receiver situations, you let him kick and punt return, I believe he can get you 500 yards on the ground. He can get you 500 yards receiving. He can get you over 500 yards punt return and over 500 yards kick return. I also think that he could score a touchdown from either special teams return position. On top of multiple times in his career, he's had 5 rushing touchdowns and 5 receiving touchdowns. That is a compliment back. Expecting anything more out of a compliment back is asinine. Okay? I like Dylan Sampson. running back game. Like, he don't weigh enough yet. So Ford and Junkins sharing this load makes a lot more sense. Sprinkle in a little Dylan here, you guys. The tight end play. Harold Fannin Jr. We love you, Harold. And let me say something about this too. Kevin, use David Njoku as a receiver. Stop putting him in the slot. Put him on the edge. Make these corners have to guard him. He is the one person on your team who can get separation on the outside if you allow him to utilize that skill. Harold Fannin allows you the pleasure and the luxury of moving Njoku into wide receiver positions while you wait for a number one wide receiver to emerge legitimately. So I would like to see more. Or some of it. And that defense is phenomenal. Randall Pitt is playing crazy work. Oh, Charles Schlesinger. We love you, guy. Okay? Playing really good. Mason Graham, you are doing wonderful. We love you, guy. All right? You know how we feel about Quinshawn. You know what I'm saying? He making us forget about Chubb a little bit. Not that we want to forget about Chubb because he the go. We love us some Chubb, but you giving us that Chubb feel, though. You giving us that Chubb feel, and we like that. You feel? We got some more receivers, and we need to let these receivers audition. I think if we were taking bets on how long Joe Flacco will be starting quarterback, I think this week is his last game starting because the defenses after this week aren't that tough until we get back into bye week, I believe, or come back from bye week. So I don't know. You know, I would say he'll start this game, and then next game Dylan will start. But I actually think Dylan could be productive. The problem is Dylan don't take chances down the field, which is going to hurt him and open up the door for sure. With that being said, though, I only want to go for the hour right quick. I hadn't been up here and chopped up with y'all in a minute. DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports, streaming on multiple media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Follow us on IG at Industry Sports or at DeeTrynt. If you missed live streams, you can catch the replays on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and various other streaming platforms. Just look for the Industry Sports channel, like, subscribe, share, follow. Once you get in there, you'll see Game Changer Sports Talk, which yours truly, DeeTrynt. Make sure you do the same. Make sure you check out the website. If you are those who aspire to have a show, to collab and learn the ropes, if you have sports writing ability and want your words captured and spread it out to the masses, or at least a portion of the masses, hit us up. industrysports@gmail.com or DeeTrynt@gmail.com. Or when you see the videos, leave a comment, leave connection. We'll get with you. We trying to build. All right? A lot of people want to talk sports. We have Detroit versus Cleveland coming up in Detroit. I think I'm going to collab with a few of my homies, and we're going to do a few streams where they come over here and I go over there. And we're going to talk Browns. All right? Pleasure for everyone who tuned in. If you wasn't here live, thank you for tuning in on the replay. Please leave your comments, your thoughts. Please share them all. We are interested. I will still reply when I'm not streaming. I love sports conversations. All right. It was a pleasure. Y'all be easy. It's hump day. Stay out of the rain. Catch y'all in a minute.